1. This is a very long story about a lying and manipulative guest and his saint wife. I am writing for peace of mind. 1. I had a table tonight, 2 adults, 3 kids. I introduce myself and start taking drink orders. The husband orders everyone's drinks except his own. Instead, he says an appetizer instead of his drink. I chuckled and wrote down the appetizer and then asked what he'd like to drink, not eat yet. The whole family had a laugh. 2. I bring their drinks out and appetizer plates. They are ready to order food. I look at the wife because lady goes first, and the husband says she'll have X. He orders for the whole family. Kind of sweet he remembered it all. I go ring in their food and hold it until the app comes out. 3. I set down their appetizer, at which point they ask for another kid's chocolate milk. 4. I bring the kids chocolate milk, and then they ask for another ranch. 5. I come right back with the ranch and ask if they need anything else while they wait on their food. They say no, we are great. 6. While taking another order at a nearby table, I glanced over to see their appetizer is finished, so I walk by to take the empty plate. The husband then says that he isn't sure the appetizer is what he ordered. I opened my book and said, "You ordered X, right?" He says yes, but it's not what he expected. I then ask what he expected, and he described one of our similar appetizers. I told him that's an easy misunderstanding, and I'll bring the one he thought it was free of charge, and take the other off the bill. Very generous, 2 free apps. My manager took the new app to the table, and the husband said, "We haven't seen our waitress since she took our drink order. Someone else brought us the wrong appetizer, but if it was her who brought it, we would have told her it wasn't what we wanted." My manager says this to me, and I'm confused. So I play stupid at the table and ask if I accidentally brought someone else the appetizer because I swear it was you guys. And he embarrassingly says no, and that he lied to the manager in the heat of the moment. Apologizes profusely. 7. 8. I bring their food. 9. I do a 2-minute check-in and bring extra napkins. Another kid wants more ranch. 10. I bring the ranch. 11. I ask if they need boxes. They say not yet. 12. I pre-bus their table. They request boxes now. 13. I bring boxes and offer a bag. 14. I come back with the bag and the check. 15. I come back for the check and then go run it. 16. I bring their card and receipts and tell them I hope to see them again soon and that all the appetizers are taken care of, and it's a common misunderstanding. The husband and kids leave, and the wife comes back from the bathroom as I'm grabbing the book. I open it and I see written, "We saw you 4 times, we were waiting a lot," and a big fat 0 written on a $90 bill. What I did next was wrong, and I should not have done this. Confused and disappointed, I caught the wife halfway out the door and into the parking lot, and asked if there was a problem with my service and if I could do anything better next time. She was confused, and I showed her the note her husband left. She takes the receipt and runs to their car and starts screaming at her husband, and then he grabs a pen and writes $20 on the bill, and keeps apologizing for his behavior. I said it's okay. I just take pride in my service, to which the husband says to my face that, "You don't belong in this industry. I think you did a horrible job." The wife screamed at him and told me not to listen to him and apologized. I walked back inside in shock and cried. I did not think straight when I approached her, and I wish I didn't, but I was completely confused and offended. I instantly told my manager what happened and said, "I understand if you have to fire me for this." She said she wouldn't, but never do that shit again. Agreed. In total, I visited their table 16 times. He is a bad liar. We have great cameras. Elfreezer's note, you most definitely should have ran after that guy. It's possible he's been doing this sort of thing for years and his wife never knew about it. Or maybe she does know the exact kind of guy she married, and this was just a very much needed reminder. Either way, it sounds like you did a very good job. 2. I worked at the same place for the last 3 years, and we've just had 2 unrelated shit-smearing incidents in all that time. For this neighborhood, that's pretty middle of the road. For the last few months, on and off, we had someone coming in and doing it as a regular routine. Same MO. They stop up our sink, not our toilet, clearly they aren't using that whatsoever, and smear it all over the wall. Thankfully, I'm not on the maintenance crew, but it always made me feel god-awful for them when I discovered it. Plus, it's obviously a major disruptor to the day. Welcome in, I hope no one has to use the restroom. So it was a problem, but apparently not a big enough one to inspire management to do anything. We had been trying a system of using a key customers had to request for the bathroom, but A, you could tell it gave people too much of a gas station vibe. We kept getting questions about it. It just doesn't match our type of place. B, it was a pain to keep track of the key, people kept forgetting to give it back, and we kept forgetting to ask. Finally, C, we had shit smear incidents even in the midst of the key system. So just days prior to the grand confrontation, we scrapped that system. The moment came when a customer complained they'd been waiting forever for the restroom and they really had to go. It was a busy time when we'd usually be paying no attention to the bathroom, a perfect time to slip in and out. In hindsight, the illicit shitter may not have been in there long, and may have just had poor timing with someone impatient. So I knocked on the door, no answer. I knocked again and asked if everything was okay. Someone said everything was fine, but they'd be a minute. The customer waiting said, "It's already been like 15 minutes. I've gotten up and come back twice." As though she expected me to actually do something, which I don't do much of at work. But the customer seemed pretty distraught, and we do have users wander in sometimes and take advantage of our private bathroom setup, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to follow up if there was nothing after a few minutes. Sure enough, the next time I did a lap, the poor customer was still hopping around there, and someone else was waiting too now. I knocked again and said, "Not to rush you, but there's a line forming. Everything okay?" Nothing. I knocked again and asked if everything was good. I was getting legitimately worried someone OD'd or had been sick or something. I went and quickly relayed the situation to my manager. She had more presence of mind than I did, and thought to take the customers over to the staff bathroom. Manager said if there's no response, use a key and crack the door. I didn't feel prepared for what I was going to see, but I couldn't have imagined what it would turn out to be. We aren't a big place, and the restroom faces out into the dining room, so we had most of the table's attention by that point. I knocked a final time and announced myself. I cracked the door and bam! I saw a woman who couldn't be a day over 40, trying to frantically clean up the wall. She hadn't gotten to unstopping the sink yet. I shut the door just as quickly as I'd opened it to collect myself. She was a normal, typical, even professional-looking woman, like a receptionist or a bank teller. We had, shame on us, been looking pretty much exclusively for homeless guys and unstable-looking guys as far as Red Alert for the wall shitter went. Don't even ask what possessed me to do this, but I started talking to her through the door. I was just so damn curious, and I kind of figured selfishly I had her cornered. I asked the $10 million question, "Why would you do that?" Silence, maybe unsurprisingly, but I followed up with the cutting interrogation of, "Hey!" I think she thought she had to answer or we wouldn't let her leave or something, because she replied, "I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I really am. I've got a lot going on, and look, I'm really sorry, really. This is just something that lets me let off steam. I know it's not right. I'm sorry. I won't be back. I'm sorry. Please don't do anything." I wasn't really satisfied with that. Maybe I should have let it drop, but I figured I'd never have a chance to get this curiosity satisfied again. I had always wondered at each of these instances what was going through a person like that's head, and this answer was not doing it for me at all. So I dug deeper with the subtle mind game of, but why, though? There was a silence for what felt like forever, but she did eventually reply, "I really don't know, or I wouldn't do it. I swear to you, it's just a release." I considered asking more hard-hitting original questions, but figured that was as far as we'd probably get. I assumed it was redundant to say she is not allowed back, so just got out of her way and she bolted. So the mystery shitter may look like a very put-together person, but in my book she's still an asshole. 3. It doesn't kill you to say please and thank you. It's something I want to imprint on people's heads sometimes. I need to vent. I'm not a server, but I do work in a restaurant and serve our guests. I had a guy come in tonight, so I did my usual greeting. He needed 1 minute, so I went about doing something else while he was looking at his phone. He announced, "I'm ready," and practically shoved his phone in my face and said, "I want this." To confirm his order, I glanced at the menu and asked, "The carne asada plate." As I point to the picture, the rude customer points to his phone. "This! I want this!" "Yes, that looks like a carne asada plate. I just wanted to make sure. Would you like flour or corn tortilla with that?" "I want it exactly like this." "But you have the option of choosing either flour or corn tortillas. Which ones would you like?" He huffs and puffs and rolls his eyes. "Corn tortillas?" He points outside to the front door. "How long has a homeless man been out there?" I glance towards the front door, searching for a homeless man. "I'm not sure how long." He rolls his eyes and gives an exasperated sigh. "You work here, how could you not know?" "Sir, I don't monitor how long they are out there." More excessive eye rolls. "Sir, I don't understand why there is a need for an attitude." "I was in the National Guard for 20 years. I'm like this with everyone. Life is too short to be nice. Hold on." He walks off, but I hear, "Hey!" I turn around in shock as I continue to pass out an order. He comes back 1 minute later. "He said he already ate. I'm just trying to be a good citizen." He continues to roll his eyes and give me a stoic look. Okay, I understand. I give him his total and he hands me his card. It wouldn't hurt to say please and thank you, though. I insert his card and give him a receipt. "Okay, you win." I think I hear him mumble something about not coming back. As predicted, when I hand him his order, he walks off without so much as a thank you. To a certain extent, I guess I should have just kept my mouth shut. But honestly, his excessive eye rolls and irritated attitude was too much for me to stay quiet. It's understandable for people to be in a bad mood or just tired, but that doesn't mean you should take it out on others. I still find it baffling that so many people lack basic manners, especially towards people who handle their food. Hellfreezer's note, you should definitely say something to rude people when they're being rude, and if they decide to escalate it instead of apologizing for their behavior, because if a person is having a bad day, a little bit of a reality check is just what they need. I've encountered it even doing my job with rude people. But if they don't back down, you can and should kick them out. Either way, it's going to make your job and everyone else's a lot easier in the long run. 4. Today we had a couple come in and order food and get drinks. I had a ticket come through that they ordered cocktails, so I get to making it. By the time the drinks were in the shaker, the gentleman comes to the bar and asks to cancel the cocktails. I was almost done making them, but whatever. I voided the items and he orders a bottle for his table instead of the cocktails. I bring the bottle to the table, show him the bottle, asks if he would like to try it first. They say no, so I leave. Perfectly fine. Then they order food. I'm not on food, but I'm watching as the lady tells the server that she ordered something different. No issue, new food gets brought out. She says again that it's the wrong order and said it was something different again. I know for a fact that this is what she ordered as I heard her, as I was behind the bar opposite her table. I heard the whole interaction and know she kept changing what she wanted. I think 3 or 4 times she sent the meal back. At this point, the manager is involved and 2 or 3 other staff members. As the server was bringing her meal back to the kitchen, she then has a conversation with another table. I didn't catch the start of her conversation, but I heard,
"And we ordered cocktails too, and they haven't come either."
Knowing fully that she cancelled the cocktail order, it also wasn't as if they cancelled because it was taking too long, as it was around 5 minutes from placing the order that the husband came to the bar. I obviously can't interject at this point, but she is basically trying to make us look as bad as possible to other guests, and blatantly lying, and none of us know what she wants other than the whole restaurant to hear how bad our service is. She finally gets a meal she is happy with, after bringing one of my servers to tears. I hear again that the couple were complaining that they had received wine they didn't order and were attempting to send it back. I'm not sure if they were successful in doing so, but the bottle was around half empty. The husband literally came to the bar and ordered the bottle. I'm not sure if they weren't happy with the piece at this point, and I'm kicking myself for not making him sign for the bottle. At the end of the night, the manager is far from happy and tells us that the couple came to reception with many complaints and likely a distasteful review. My interactions with the couple were very polite, and they seemed very happy with their drinks, up until the point they started to complain. I'm not sure what their aim was, perhaps a free meal? I think she reached the point and thought,
Fuck it, let's see how many freebies we can get.
And was clearly enjoying the attention she got from telling my other guests about it. I honestly feel bad for her husband. He didn't start the whole ordeal, but was forced to go along with it. His food was in front of him, and he waited for the lady's meal to keep being re-brought out. There was an offer to take it back to the kitchen so it stays warm, but the lady quickly denied that for him, probably so she could bring it up later and say her husband's food was cold by the time hers was brought out. What would you do in my scenario? 5. First of all, I won't say exactly where I work, but it's a Latin steakhouse chain. Anyway, right now, I'm a hostess, and I've worked in restaurants for almost 4 years. So this new job isn't anything that I'm not used to. Except the people are absolute dogshit. Yesterday was my first day. A woman holding the same position as me, but about 50 years older, tells me she runs the host stand and greets everyone and is the only one allowed to have the tablet because she can't walk and seat people because of her knee. I'm all for respecting your elders, but that annoyed me. Then she kept leaving the host stand to do I don't know what, and tables were opening up while I had about 25 plus people waiting to be sat. So I started calling people and seating them. Mind you, I did this correctly and the way they showed me to do, but this woman gets mad because I'm doing her job. So this old bitch just decides to not do anything. Grown-up people acting like bratty children is my biggest pet peeve. Anyway, then I'm asked to set the tables. Okay, this is my first day. I'm not sure how this restaurant sets the tables or where literally anything is, because no one trained me for anything except when I asked. I asked the manager to show me how and where, and she began to show me how to set the tables. But she walked me over to a table that was already made and pointed toward everything on the table. Not only that, she keeps walking away and talking to servers while showing me. Okay, next issue. I'm standing at the hostess stand, doing my job. This fat magician-looking motherfucker comes up to all three of us and, without directly talking to me or introducing himself, says, "Is it the new girl letting all the customers crowd the host stand and mean-mugging them?" Like, first of fucking all, who are you? Second of all, how are you going to make a joke about me minding my own business without even saying anything to me? Third, I hate men who comment on young women for not constantly smiling. Mind your fucking business. The cherry on top today, which is supposed to be my second, I had to call out because I could not put on my flats. I was already about to leave for work and tried everything not to make it painful. Still, my heels are rubbed raw and bleeding, so I have to buy new shoes that follow the dress code. I do this, and the manager, a man who does not wear women's flats, I might add, says it's not acceptable and he's going to document it. Okay. What would you rather me do then? I'm more than happy to come in wearing my sneakers, but that's not the dress code. And I hope he isn't implying that I should come in for an 8-hour shift barefoot, or even better, work through my skin being rubbed off while bleeding all over my shoes. Am I being difficult? I did start Adderall recently, so I'm very irritable lately, but this is just making me irrationally angry. Should I just quit now? On top of all that, I found out that we share all of our tips. Hellfreezer's note: yeah, quit, but do it by finding another job first. Unless you've got enough money in the bank to tide you over until you get a new job. That'd be my advice. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates, episode 241. and thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Before you go, hit that like button. And if you'd like to get the videos a little bit early, that's not a problem. Join my Patreon, you can get early access to them on the Monday or the Tuesday at the very latest. It is usually Monday. I just uploaded a bunch today, actually, as I'm recording these. And you can support me there for as little as $1 or more a month. You'll also find a link to the Hellfreezer merchandise store on Teespring. It's my favourite shop, but I am a little biased. And if you enjoyed today's service and you'd like to tip your Hellfreezer, you can do that by clicking on the heart with a $sign in the middle underneath the video. You do not have to do that, and slap any YouTuber who makes you think you have to, but I do appreciate it if you choose to, and it's very helpful. Okay. No other business today, so let's move right along to Hellfreezer's question of the day. And today's question is, what is your favourite pasta dish? Lately, mine has been carbonara. I'm not making it from scratch. It's little tubs of carbonara sauce I'm getting from a local store, and I'm just adding chicken and mushrooms to it. Some people might say that I shouldn't add chicken. I don't listen to those people because chicken is yummy. And it's been my favourite meal lately. I did it a few days ago with spaghetti. I did it yesterday. With a penne, which is the superior pasta, in spite of what some opinions have suggested. At least it is when I can't get the shells. I can't remember the fancy name for that with the shells. So why don't you let me know what yours are in a comment below. Thought we'd keep it food-themed for this one. And before we go, let's take a look at the answer of the day from a previous video. And this answer is from Spinning Plates, episode 239. And I believe the question was, who is your favourite himbo-type character? Mine was Jason Mendoza from The Good Place, I believe. And today's answer comes from Hufflepuff, who is also one of my moderators as it happens. And their answer is Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove is my favourite himbo. Thank you very much for your answer, Hufflepuff. Okay, I think that's us for just now. You know what I meant. I'm going to go get some food. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.